السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. بسم الله والحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه ومن اتبع هداه بإحسان إلى يوم الدين. ثم أما بعد. I hope all of you are doing very well and welcome to our second session of the Tajweed class that I hope inshallah that are going to be benefiting from this session a lot for reading Quran with proper Tajweed and for learning the proper Quran recitation. And let's get started. I hope all of you are doing well and everything was going fine with the last session. I hope everything there was easy and I hope you also did enjoy watching this one. Before we start our session for today, like uh, let's recap what we talked about last time. And before we do this, I would like to remind all of you that if anyone who haven't registered through the website, through the link I have added previously, you can do so because the people who register with their email, they will have access to the course, which will allow them later to do the quiz and download the materials needed with this, which will make it actually simple for you later to finish the course and also get the certificate that will come with it. So I'll advise if anybody who hasn't registered yet, you can do this through the website, inshallah. Uh, One other thing also would like to remind all of you that you can participate through Zoom. We're gonna be inshallah today. I'll let every one of you read. I'll let you read by yourself, so you can basically practice the reading yourself without having issues with just learning the rules, without getting the benefit of applying that yourself and doing this yourself. This is inshallah something we're gonna be doing today. So we're gonna make our session like around 20 minutes for studying general rules, 20 to 30 minutes, and after this, I will let every one of you read so you can practice the things that we're going to study, inshallah. And let's get started. So let's recap the lesson that we had last time that was about the heavy and the light letters in Arabic, which what we call as tafkhim and tarqiq. So our lesson was about that we have 7 letters in the Arabic language. Those are special letters. These 7 letters are Fa, Sad, Dad, Ghain, Ta, Qaf, and Dha. What do we call these letters? We call them as the full mouth letters or the heavy letters. Because what happens with these letters is something special. We make their sound like in the form of a heavy sound or a strong sound, which makes them unique 7 letters in the Arabic language. All the other letters in the Arabic language must be light, must be with a weak sound when we say them. We should avoid making their sound strong unless it is one of these 7 letters. We talked about that we have with these 7 letters, we have 2 letters that we have exceptions for. These 2 letters are Ra and Lam. And our lesson today, inshallah, is going to be about the 2 letters Ra and Lam, how we can properly read them in Quran, whether we should make them heavy or light. Because the general rule that we have here is that we have the 7 letters here, they are always heavy when we read them in Mus'haf. All the other letters are actually going to be light. So any letter like, for example, Ba, Ta, Jim, all these letters are light, with the exception of 2 letters, and these 2 letters are Ra and Lam. Ra and Lam, they have the 2 cases. They sometimes can be heavy, and they sometimes can be light. Does anybody of you have any questions about this general rule or about anything we studied previously? Can you please let me know in the chat? I would love, of course, to have all of you interacting with me through the chat here, through the one we have on Zoom. Okay, perfect. All right, so let's get into today's lesson, which, as we said, is going to be about 2 letters, and these are ra, and lam. Okay. So what happens when we read Quran and what happens when we have ra and lam while we are reading? What should we do to them? Should we make their sound heavy or we should make their sound light? What I'm talking about here is two cases. I have, I can have a strong or a heavy ra sound, which will be ra, and I can have a weak ra sound, which will be ra. So ra is actually the weak sound of ra, which is not correct. And I'll tell you why we're gonna know about this. So this lesson here is about the rules of Ra and Lam. First thing we have that Ra is light in one of the cases, which is if it is accompanied by Kasra or Sukoon and preceded by Kasra. What does that mean? Let's get like let's understand this in a more easier way. So based on the haraka, the vowel I have on Ra, the sound of it will actually change whether it should be heavy or light. So that means if I have ra with fatha or ra with dhamma, their sound in this case will actually be heavy sound. So when I say them, I should say ra, ru. I cannot say ra, I cannot make it light like this. I cannot say ru. That is very light, that is very weak. We should avoid this only in case if we have ra with fatha or with dhamma, just like what we have here. So ra, ru. As I said, you can repeat after me, like with yourself, with the microphone muted, so you can practice this yourself while we are talking about it. So ra with fatha, ra with dhamma, it should be heavy. The case when I have ra with a light sound, it will be if ra has kasra. So I'm going to make it sound in the light form. How this is going to be like? It will be like ri, ri. What I'm doing here is I'm making my mouth empty. I'm not filling it with air, so it's not ri, it's just ri. I hope it's clear. So again, ra with fatha and dhamma, its sound should always be heavy. Ra, ru. How about if it's a kasra on the ra, it's gonna be light. It will be ri. Okay. So let's give an example. A word like rabbahum. Rabbahum. I cannot say rabbahum. Ra, that is not correct. I have to make it ra. Rabbahum, a heavy ra. Like let's bring another example, like for ra with kasra. Let's say let's bring an example. Yeah, the word fariha. 1 second. Fariha is a good example for me for a ra with kasra. Fa, ri, ha. I have ra with kasra here, so I'm going to say ri, ri. Make it sound like fariha, fariha. I cannot say fari, ri. This is very strong. This is heavy. So it should be fariha, fariha. Rabbahum, heavy ra, fariha, light ra. Does anybody of you have any questions about this? The heavy and the light ra, when it has fatha, dhamma, or kasra? Please, I want you, all of you, to be active with me on the chat. Okay, perfect. There we have like an exception. Let's bring another thing, which is what if ra has sukoon? We talked about if ra has fatha, if ra has kasra, if it has dhamma. How about when it has sukoon on it? What are we going to do in this case? We're gonna do the same thing, but this time it's not gonna be the ra itself that we will look at. We will look at the letter which is right before letter ra. So if this letter has a fatha on it, or if it has a dhamma, then in this case, ra sound, the one with sukoon, is going to be heavy. And in case if we have Ra, like the letter before it, is a letter with kasra. This case will actually make the ra with sukoon light. So again, what are we going to do if we have ra with sukoon? Is it going to be heavy or is it going to be light? It basically depends. Depends on what? Depends on the letter that we have right before ra. If this letter has a fatha on it or it has a dhamma on it, in this case we're gonna make it ra sound heavy. And in case if we have the letter before the ra itself or with a kasra, in this case we're gonna make ra sound light. Okay? So I hope this one is also clear to you. Let's bring some examples to make this easy for us and to understand the idea of what is actually happening. Let's get back to the page where we had the examples. Okay. Let's look at these examples right here. Uh, First one, let's look at this word. It's fariha, the one we had previously. We have ra with kasra. So we are going to say fariha. Let's look at this word. We have also ra with shadda and kasra here. This kasra is going to cause this ra to be light. So it will be الرقاب, الرقاب, a light ra. This one, الصابرين, الصابرين. I don't forget to make sad heavy, as we said before. Sad, one of the 7 letters that are always be heavy. Okay, so it's not assa. We should avoid this. We should make it assa. As-sabirina. Let's look at this word right here. What do we have on this ra here? If we look closely, it has sukoon. So we have a ra here with sukoon. What are we going to do in this case? The rule is simple. We're gonna check the letter before ra. What is that letter here? It is letter ba. What do we have on ba? Do we have fatha, kasra, or a dhamma? If we look here, we can find there is a kasra. So this kasra is going to cause this ra to be light. So in this case that we have here, we are going to make the sound of ra light. Wasbir, wasbir, a light ra. This one here, if we look again, we have ra with sukoon. What are we going to do in this case? We will check the letter before, like the letter before ra, which is fa. What are we going to do to this fa? We're gonna make it light. Why? Because the letter before ra here has kasra on it. So we're gonna make it light. I hope this is simple. Let's move on to the case when we make it heavy. So ra is heavy, as we said, when it has a fatha, or it has a dhamma, or the letter before it has a sukoon. If it's like if it has itself a sukoon, and the letter before it with a fatha or dhamma. Let's look at the first word. ربنا, heavy ra, ra was fatha. رأوا, heavy ra again, that is a ra was fatha. رزقنا, ra was dhamma. حاضرة or حاضرا, ra was fatha again. عشرون, ra was dhamma. خردل, we have a ra with sukoon. What are we going to do? Look at the letter before ra, which is kha. It has fatha. Fatha will make the ra with sukoon heavy. So it will be qardal, ghurfatan, al-Qur'ana. In these two cases, we have ra before them, a letter with dhamma, so we're gonna make it heavy. I hope this is clear. And let's test this. Make sure you fully understand what we have here. So let's get back here. We would like to see there's some form of a quiz, inshallah, like not a quiz, just some examples. We're gonna read here to make sure you understand what we have. Here it is. All right, 1 second. Just 1 moment. I would like you to be active with me through the chat and tell me the answers, whether the ra in these following examples that we have, is it heavy or light? So can you please look at the first one here? The word فرعون. Do we have a heavy ra here or a light one? Okay, let me know through the chat. Okay, are you sure about this one? Does anybody have any other? Yeah, light. Exactly. Thank you so much. So ra here that we have, it is a light one. Why? Because it has sukun on it, before it a letter with kasra. That was excellent. The next word here we have is qaribun. Is this one a heavy one or a light one? Should it be heavy or light? Okay, perfect. This one actually is light. We have ra with kasra, so it must be light in this case. Let's check the next word that we have here. We have Rabbi. Rabbi. Should this one be heavy or it should be light? Can you let me know through the chat, please? Okay, perfect. So this one, last one here we have is Rabbi. It is actually heavy because it has fatha. Next one we have is Rusulun. Heavy or light? Rusulun. We have Ra with Dhamma. Heavy or light? Yeah, it should be heavy because we said with Fatha and Dhamma, it is heavy. With Kasra, it is light. How about this one? Firashan. Heavy or light? Heavy, exactly. Maryam. Heavy or light? Heavy too. Thank you. Very good. Dhikrihim. What do you think? Light or heavy? Okay, this one is light because as we said, when it has a kasra on it, we're gonna make it light. Thank you so much. Okay, let's move on to another point, which is about letter lam. Should letter lam be heavy or light? Letter lam is always light, and there's actually an exception for letter lam. This exception is only in two words, the word Allah and the word Allahumma. We have the word Allahumma also in the Quran. It's the same meaning. It's just the word Allahumma. When we call Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in dua, we start with Allahumma to call Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in our dua. The lam that we question here, whether it should be heavy or light, is this lam in the middle, the one with shadda. Allah, Allahumma. This lam right here. This lam, should it be heavy or light? This is the lam in question. Any other lam in any other word in the Quran, it is always light. Like what? Like when we say the word قل. قل. Do I say قل? I make lam heavy. قل. This is a heavy lam. That is not right. So it should be قل, a light lam. Like what? قال. قال. I have a light lam because that's not in the word Allah. So generally, lam is light in any word in the Quran except Allah and Allahumma. How about these two words? These two words actually they have this exception. What happens is we can even notice this ourselves. When we say Bismillah and when we say Allahu, like when we just say Allahu normally without anything. Is this word or the lam in this word is similar to the one we have here? We have Bismillah, we have Allah. Listen to both. Bismillah, Allah. Is this one the same? Matter of fact, it isn't. What we have here is a light sound of lam. We say illah, la, la, but we have here is Allah, Allah, a heavy sound of lam. So this only happens in the word Allah. In some cases, we have to make this lam heavy. In some cases, we have to make it light. Most of us, naturally, what we do is we read it correctly. We make it light in the cases that we have it light. We make it heavy when we have a case that should make it heavy. Most of us naturally do this. We say Bismillah, we say Allah without any issue. But this matters like for some people because sometimes they actually confuse whether they should make the lamb heavy or they should make it light. This depends on what? How can I know if the lamb in the word Allah, I should make it heavy or I should make it light? It depends on the word before Allah. Not exactly the word, it's just the last letter before the word Allah. So that if there's something I'm reading before the word Allah, I will check this letter that I have right before it. I will check the haraka it has. If it has a haraka, which is a fatha, again, or a dhamma, again, in this case, I'm gonna make lam in the word Allah heavy. So because of that letter before the word Allah itself, it actually affected this lam and made it heavy. Okay? So in that case, fatha or dhamma before the word Allah, I make it heavy. How about the case when I make it light? If the letter, like the last letter before the word Allah, has a kasra on it, in this case, I'm going to make lam in the word Allah light. How about if I have nothing before the word Allah? I'm just starting by the word Allah, like I'm saying it now. Allah. In this case, if there's nothing at all before it, I'm actually going to make it heavy. Okay? So in most cases, we can see lam is heavy in the word Allah. The only exception to this is when we have a kasra on the letter before the word Allah. When we have a kasra on the letter before the word Allah, in this case, we are going to make this word light. Okay? Do you get the idea here? Can you please let me know through the chat? Do you get what we discussed here before we move on? Okay, perfect. Let's see some examples for this, just like we did with the ones earlier. One second. Okay, here we have the first rule for lam, which is when we should make it light. Let's look at this. Bismi, Bismillah. Mim is the letter which is right before the word Allah. What do we have on the meme here? We have kasra. What did we say about kasra? Let's move on. Here we have Alhamdulillah. The letter before the word Allah is dal. It has dhamma. Okay, let's check the word over here. We have ya. Ya before it letter fa, which has kasra. What did we say about this? Let's move that to the next one. Dhal. We have dhal with dhamma. Here we have lam with kasra. This would explain to us that depending on the change that we have because of that letter, whether it has a fatha or a kasra or a dhamma, it's going to affect the word Allah. So quickly, what was the rule? The rule is if we have fatha or dhamma, it will be heavy. And the rule if we have kasra, it will be light. So if we have kasra, it will be light. So let's find out what is the rule that we have for all these words we have right here. First one, Bismillah. That's a kasra. So we made a lam here, like Bismillah. Alhamdulillah. Matter of fact is we have lam here before the word Allah. We say lillah. So it's a lam with kasra. So we have a kasra again. It's not actually the dal, it's the lam we have right here. So we also make it light. Bismillah, Alhamdulillah, Billah. In all these cases, actually, we have kasra. Even this one, because we have ba with kasra here. So in all these examples that we have right here, we are going to make lam light. How about the heavy lam? Let's look at it and see how it looks like. We have here قال إني قال إني عبد الله. عبد dal with dhamma. So we're gonna make the lam here heavy. Abdullah. Abdullah. So see, the lam I'm saying here in the word Allah is actually heavy. Abdullah. We have nothing before the word Allah. We said if there is nothing at all before the word Allah, we're gonna also make it heavy. So we will say Allahu, Allahu, Abdullah, Allahu. This is the heavy lam. How was the previous one we had, which is the light one? It was Illah. This one, Allah. So the light one, Illah. Heavy one, Allah. Let's look at this example also. Here we have قال قال الله. Fatha on the letter before the word Allah. This is going to make it heavy. The lam and the word Allah is going to be heavy. Subhanaka Allahumma. We have kaf with fatha here. And then we have the word Allahumma. The lam here that is going to be affected is this lam right here. This lam, in this case, is going to be heavy because we have fatha on the letter before the word Allah. So heavy if we have fatha or dhamma, light if we have kasra. Do we understand the rule that we have here? Can you please let me know in the chat? Okay, very good. All right. Now it is gonna be your job right now to answer and let me know to answer whether here the lam in the words that we have in this box. Should it be heavy or it should be light? So let's go over all of them quickly. The first word here is Amrullah. Is lam here heavy or light? Can you please let me know? Did I say it heavy? I have even answered that myself. Okay. What do you think? Okay. Does anybody else has like any answer? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yes, we actually have it heavy. So this lam is heavy. I say amru, amrullah, not amrullah, not la, it's law. Heavy one. Why? Because I said fatha dhamma on the letter before it, it will be heavy. The letter before it here is ra. It has dhamma. This is gonna make it heavy. I hope it's so easy, you know? It's just understanding that we look at the word Allah and then we check the letter before it. The letter before it here is ra, right before the word Allah. It has dhamma on it. So dhamma and fatha is gonna make it heavy. Let's check the second example here. Is this lamb going to be heavy or it is going to be light? What do you think? I'll be waiting for your answers, all of you to participate. Okay, this is correct. Thank you. So both of you were actually right. It is a heavy one. We say hikmatullah. Hikmatullah. The letter before the word Allah is ta marbuta here. It has dhamma on it. This is gonna make it heavy. Let's move to this one. Can you please let me know whether it's gonna be heavy or it is going to be light? Okay, perfect. This one is also heavy. Ahdullah. Ahdullah. A heavy lam. We have dal before the word Allah. It has dhamma. Okay, this one, what do you think? Should it be heavy or it should be light? Okay, so but why? If it's heavy, why is it heavy? And if it's light, why is it going to be light? What do you think? Okay, perfect. That is right. So the letter before the word Allah here is Ra. It has a kasra, which makes this lam we have right here is light. We say dhikrillah, dhikrillah. About the stress on the word, the lam here, the stress always happens because we have shadda. And we talked about the reading of shadda before in our first session. We said that when we read a letter with shadda, it is like we are reading a doubled lam, one with sukoon and the other one with the vowel we have, which is fatha here. So it's like we are reading two lams combined because we have a lam with shadda. So dhikrillah. But both of these two lams, that shadda lam is actually light. Let's move to this one. What do you think? Was it going to be heavy or light? Okay, it is right. That is correct. So it's gonna be heavy. Nurullah. Nuru. Nurullah. A heavy lam that we have here. Here we have this one. Qadarullah. Qadarullah. Is this one heavy or light? Heavy too. Perfect. Let's move to the next one. Deenullah. Deenullah. Heavy or light? Heavy. Perfect. Okay, last one here. Heavy or light? What do you think? Okay. So the final answer is light, and this is correct. What is the letter before the word Allah? If we look at here closely, we can see ba. Does ba have a fatha, lamma, or a kasra? It has a kasra. Kasra is going to cause it to be light. We say billah. If you heard somebody saying wallah, that is not correct. You have to correct them and explain to them that it should be billah, billah. So the lam we have here in the word Allah is actually light. I hope that lesson today about ra and lam was easy. Let's recap quickly the lesson of today before we move to the reading. So we talked about the rule of ra first. Should ra be heavy or it should be light? We said that we check the haraka of ra itself. If it has a fatha or a dhamma, we're gonna make it heavy. If it's a kasra, it's going to be light. We also talked about that if it has sukoon, and we said that we're gonna check the letter which is right before the word Allah. If this letter has a fatha or a dhamma, we're gonna make ra heavy. If it has a kasra, ra is going to be light. We talked about the lam. We said lam is generally in all words in the Quran is light. Like we said some examples. We said قال, قل, عليهم, لهم. These words containing lam and they are always light. How about the case when we make lam heavy then? The cases we make lam heavy is only in the word Allah and in the word Allahumma. When should we make it heavy and when should we make it light? We said that we check the letter right before the word Allah. If that letter has a fatha or a dhamma, you're gonna make it heavy. If there is nothing before the word Allah, like when we say Allahu Akbar, we are starting by the word Allah, nothing before it, then it's gonna be actually heavy. The only case we make the word Allah, the lam in the word Allah, we make it light if we have kasra on the letter before the word Allah. Like when we say Bismillah. Nobody says Bismillah. Nobody makes it heavy. Everybody says Bismillah. I hope this was easy, inshallah. Any questions so far? Does anybody have any questions? All right, perfect. Now we're gonna be, inshallah, I will let every one of you like read. Let's pick a short surah to practice together. We're gonna make it, inshallah, Surah Al-Humazah. When you are going to read, I assume everybody is going to make mistakes because like we are learning here. So the goal of letting you read is actually so you can make mistakes, so we can work on correcting these mistakes and practicing them. So I don't want anybody of you to be like shy while reading or not being willing to read. I want everybody of you to practice and read so we can like enjoy this session and we can get the best benefit and the best outcome of what we are doing here. So who is ready to start reading with me here? Surah Al-Humazah. Who is ready to start? You have like a raise hand thing in Zoom. You
Yeah,
can click on.
I
Okay.
I will read with you, sir.
Okay, Sirajuddin, Barakallahu Fik. I will let you read. We have here Surah Al-Humazah. Can you
أعوذ
please?
بالله من الشيطان. Yeah, yes, sir. You're
Go
saying
ahead.
something?
No, go
أعوذ
ahead,
بالله
please.
من الشيطان. Yeah. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
Okay,
ويل
let's slow
لكل.
down.
Yeah.
Let's slow down a little bit. We would like to really focus on the reading today. So
Okay.
first thing we started with, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. We have two
It's
ra letters in the word Ar-Rahman and in the word Ar-Rahim. What do you think they will be? Heavy or light? Ar-Rahman, Ra, Ar-Rahim. Is it going to be heavy or is it going to be light? What do you think? Can you hear me?
heavy, sir. It's heavy.
Yes, that's correct because we have it with Fatha. So Ra here is going to be heavy. Ar-Rahman, Ra, Ar-Rahim. So let's focus
Rahim.
on doing this. And also don't forget we have again the word Allah here. Talk about this lam in this word. Is it going to be heavy or is it going to be light? What do you think?
Question again, sir, please.
Question is about this lam we have in this word. Bismillah. This
Yeah.
word Allah. Is it heavy or it is light?
I suppose it should be light.
It should be light. Yes, that is correct. Because as we said, we have we have it with like kasra on the letter before it. We have meme before it. Meme causes the ram in this word to be light. That's perfect. I'll let you read again. Can you please start now?
Shall I read the surah, sir, now?
Yes, please.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim.
Okay.
ويل
Uh,
لكل.
one one more one more thing I would like you to give like some time. Ra here with shadda in the word ar-Rahman, and Ra here again with shadda. Remember the
Yeah.
stress we do to bring the two sounds of the shadda sound. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Can you try that?
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim.
That's way better. Thank you. You can continue now.
Yeah. ويل لكل همزة همزة.
Humazatil lumazah.
همزة الذي جمع ما لا عادة يو يو
Here we
يو
have ما لو وعدده.
ما لو وعدة. Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
continue please.
يحسب أن ما له أخلد.
يحسب
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 أن
أن
yes.
أن ما له أخلد.
Excellent. Please continue.
Yeah. كلا ينبذ زنا في الأحتام.
كلا
كلا
لينبذن.
كلا لا ينبذن في الحطمة.
في الحطمة.
في الحطمة. وما
Mhm.
أدراك ما الحطمة.
ما
نار
الحطمة.
الحطمة.
Mhm.
نار الله الموقدة.
Mhm.
التي تتلو على الأفئدة. Am I correct, sir?
Yes, على الأفئدة.
على الأفئدة. Okay. إنه عليهم مؤصدة.
إنها
إنها عليهم مؤصدة.
مؤصدة.
مؤصدة في
Mhm.
أمادي أمادم مدة دا
ممددة.
ممددة. Okay.
Excellent. That was a perfect, yeah, that was a perfect reading. Thank you
I
so
will
much.
I will practice, sir. I will practice, inshallah.
Yes, so inshallah, that was very good. Now who else can read? So yeah, Qudsa, you
Brother of
can read now. Yeah, you can unmute yourself now and start reading.
Okay, Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum assalam.
Okay, I'm gonna start now.
Yes,
بسم
please.
الله الرحمن الرحيم ويل لكل حمزة لمزة الذي
Okay, we would like to make the ha here clear. همزة اللمزة. Can you try that again?
همزة لمزة
Perfect.
الذي جمع مالا وعددا يحسب أن
One more thing. The ha here at the end, we need to read it with sukoon. So we say وعدده. You hear the ha at the end?
yeah وعدده
Thank you.
يحسب أن ماله وأخلده.
We don't read this wow. This wow is to stretch the dhamma. So we say ما له أخلده.
Okay. يحسب أن ماله أخلده.
Thank you.
كلا لا ينبذن في الحطمة وما أدراك ما الحطمة
Okay, we have here أدراك. Can you say it again?
أدراك.
Yes, excellent. What we need to take care of here sometimes is avoiding making dal heavy. We talked about the 7 heavy letters. Dal is not one of them. Dal is a light one. So we cannot say ada. Ada is a heavy sound. We need to make it light. Ada. So it's not ada,
أدراك.
ada. Excellent. Perfect. Please continue.
نار الله الموقدة التي تطلع على الأفئدة
Okay,
إنما
let me ask you, do you remember what we said about ta?
right.
Is
Yeah,
it
I do.
heavy or it is light?
It's heavy.
Heavy. So how can we say it? Can you try again saying this word?
تت- تطلع
Perfect. That was good.
التي تطلع على الأفئدة إنما عليهم
إنها.
إنها عليهم مؤصدة في عمد ممددة.
Thank you so much for this beautiful recitation. Okay, who else can read? I see Mujib. You can try reading this surah, maybe at least like 1 or 2 ayahs. Can you please unmute yourself and read with us here? Mujib?
Hello, Stas. I have some pain in my ear, so I think I cannot go ahead with this. Can I go tomorrow then? Is it fine?
Yeah, as we said, I'm expecting you to make mistakes. So,
Yeah.
maybe you can like 1 or 2 ayahs, maybe the first two. Would you like to try?
I would like to try tomorrow, but I cannot speak now. I have
Okay.
an heavy pain in my ear. Yeah.
Okay, no problem. Thank you so much
Thank you.
all. I hope you enjoyed today's session. Inshallah, I will send you, we will have actually the Telegram active, so I'll send that on the Telegram, inshallah, materials. Inshallah, later, by the end of this course, there is going to be a quiz that will actually, that you're going to be answering, inshallah, like to